this is your typical Minecraft base. A normal starter house and a tree right next to it. I would want to show you how to build because you really need it. But today I'm going to focus on the tree, so let's get right into it. Of course, if you're going to build all of these other trees, you need to first know how to build a normal custom tree. We're going to take some wood, and you want to basically make like a stem, quite random, like this. So it goes up and maybe goes around a little bit, maybe like that. That's a nice shape. Next step is to make the bottom a little bit thicker. Next step is to place the leaves, and I'm going to use oak leaves and dark oak leaves. You could also use spruce leaves and birch leaves, you decide. But I would recommend to alternate in between two of them to make some variation. Otherwise it gets quite boring. You kind of want to place in a circle around this top block. That's basically what you want to do. Then you want to remove the leaves that is directly contact to the stem. These you don't want it to be full here. You want it to be a little bit open, and you don't want them to be this flat. Build them out a little bit, and then build them down so they get a little bit bigger with the leaves. And as you can see, it is coming together quite nicely, but all of the leaves ends at the same level. We don't want that. Therefore we're going to extend it on some places, not on all of the places, but just on some, like that. And you could stop here, but I would recommend to also place some fences and slabs and some stairs, just to make like small branches and some extra detail. So you can place them a little bit all over the place, underneath blocks, and like extra branches, and yeah, you decide. And there we go. That's the normal custom tree. Find a flat area and build. On this one you're going to start with a quite big bottom or base, I don't know what you want to call it, and then I want you to just build up in the middle, one pillar quite high. Yeah, that should be enough. And then build up, make it a little bit thicker, maybe not all the way up, so it isn't like just a pile of wood. You actually want it to look organic, like you see here. That isn't good when it's just a corner like that. So you can build up like this and make it a little bit round, I would recommend. I think this looks pretty good. Next step is to take the leaves and place on top of this top block. Build up like just some, and the difference between this tree and that tree is going to be that the leaves here are just going to go a lot steeper down compared to this that like makes it almost like a hat. So I want you to start off placing these leaves, then place, doesn't matter how high up it is, but I want you to build down like this. So you make like a staircase all the way down. Now I want you to do the same thing on all of the four sides, but you don't want to make the exact same pattern when you go down and build out one block. So you make it a little bit more organic. It should look like this or something like this. And as you can see, I have placed on all of these four, I built like pillars. They're not connected to the ground, and they shouldn't. Next step is to build like a ring to connect all of these pillars, I'm going to say, of leaves, with leaves down at the bottom, and make them a little bit random, so it isn't just a perfect circle. Otherwise it looks quite unnatural. Next step is to try to find a middle and do the exact same thing here to connect all of these pillars, like that. Then the next step is to take one of these squares almost and try to fill it in. And one tip is to start at the bottom and build up, and then go one block further in to make it quite steep when it's going up, and alternate so it isn't just all of them going in this one pattern. Maybe one starts all the way from here, or one goes directly up. Yeah, try to alternate. Do this on all of these squares. Sometimes this ring here is a lot further out than this ring. Then you can just build it out so it connects. Otherwise it can look a little bit weird, like that. So you want to connect them, and then fill this up so it looks a little bit more natural. Now I fill in all of these areas, and it should look something like this. Not exactly like this, because you need to add your own touch, but something like this. We still have this problem, the leaves ends at the same level. So just go around and put some more leaves to make them look a little bit more organic. And we're going to place some details with some stairs and slabs, exactly as we did on the last tree. So just go around and place some wherever you think is needed, but something like that. Next step is to take some shulker boxes and a beacon. You want to take the shulker boxes in different colors and just dot them around so it looks like Christmas decorations. Remember to use a lot of different colors so you really sell the idea of them being Christmas decorations. Yeah, something like that. And then final step is to take a beacon and place it on the top as a Christmas star. And now the tree is finished, so we can move over to the next tree. You're not going to need any leaves for this, and what I want you to do is to build a stem going to the side, and then going around like that. Then you want to split it up, make it go in another direction, and then I would say to make it do the same thing one more time somewhere in the middle, like that. Then you want to make the base a little bit thicker. Then you want to decorate it, and to decorate it you use the slabs as normal, and stairs, some fences for like branches. You can also use fence gates so it looks like branches. You can also place the fence post on the side of them. Buttons can look really good, and it is these small details that really sells it, so take the time with it. If you're building this tree with oak wood, I would recommend using spruce decorations, simply because they smelt in really well. And there you have it, cool looking dead tree. Let's move over on this path to one of the more simple builds. You just need some fence post to build up, then put one to the side so it looks like a branch. I usually use spruce leaves, but you can use other leaves. Then build up like 3 blocks. On the bottom block you just build down like this. You do this on all of the sides like that. Then you just want to cover the branches and make it a little bit more natural by placing some more leaves like that. I recommend also using it to mix up with these big trees, so you have these small trees as well. This is not really a tree, it's more like an artwork that resembles a tree, but I really like it, so I'm going to keep it in this video. You can either use acacia wood or andesite walls. I'm going to use andesite walls simply because it gets a little bit thinner, and I think it looks a little bit better when it's a little bit thinner. So you want to start off with going up blocks and then build out to the side and go up, so it is like this shape. Then you just want to place end rods and quartz blocks all around it. Try to make it like it resembles leaves, because you're not going to use any leaves, you're going to use end rods and quartz blocks instead. It's going to be like a cloud of end rods and quartz blocks. But I would just recommend spamming a bunch of them, and it's better to place more end rods and quartz blocks than too few. So I'm just going to do this, place it quite random. Kind of like this, but as you can see it looks pretty cool, but it looks even cooler in the dark. And as you can see, it really glows in the dark and it looks really cool. Perfect for like a futuristic. I think this is one of the best tree designs featuring in this video. But if you haven't already, scroll down and write which of the tree designs you think is the best. We still have 2 more, but write which you think is the best. Maybe you're thinking, what, a dripstone stem, that can't be anything good, but it actually looks pretty good. So I want you to place, I'm going to use mangrove leaves and younger leaves, but you can use whatever you want. Place around this top one and one on top, and then just build out like this. You don't want them to be connected, simply because palm trees aren't really connected like that. And there we go, a cool looking palm tree, perfect for an island build. So we're going to use the cherry log because I think it fits the build really well. Maybe you don't want to just grow the normal cherry blossom trees, but you want to alternate with some that you have built by yourself. So I think this is really good. You want to build up like this. I would say to not connect them, simply because I think we're going for this acacia look. Then you just want to take these blocks or every pink block that you can find and just basically spam them around and try to make them resemble leaves. It can be quite hard. I also find it hard to make these kind of builds. Yeah, something like this, quite random, and yeah, I think it looks quite good. And for the final touch, you want to take some pink carpet and magenta carpet and just place on the ground like this. You can also use the new pink petals as leaves on the ground. There you have it, 7 really good tree designs. So now when you have your boring starter house, you can at least make some cool trees right next to it. And before you learn how to make the starter house, I would say learn how to make the place where the starter house is going to be. And a cool place is a floating island, and I do have a tutorial on that right here to the right by.